What is up, you guys? It is Zombie Adam, and this video is mainly going to be for the parents. And what I mean by the parents is a lot of kids aren't allowed to go to local LAN tournaments, which is where they go to compete against other teams with hundreds of other kids, adults. And I actually, as a kid, I'm 21 years old now. I started competing when I was probably about 15, doing game battles matches, where you pay about $10 to enter a tournament, and then obviously first place wins money, second place wins their credits back, and then third place usually doesn't get anything but a trophy on their profile, but then it's for bragging rights. It's 2016, and this day and age, people are doing this as a career. A lot of parents don't understand it yet because it's new to them, and back in the day there wasn't electronics, nothing. The internet's a scary place, all the hackers and stuff, credit cards being stolen, your identity being stolen. But the gaming industry it really is growing, and eventually it's gonna be the largest thing in the entire world. And I know that's broad, like the way I said that, in the entire world, but it really is. Like, the numbers are there. It's only a matter of time. My name's Adam. I competed in my first local tournament. Let's skip back to when I was a kid. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There was a local, kind of like a hangout club kind of thing where you could go and play cards. There'd be tournaments every weekend. My dad would drive me to them, stay around, get to see what it was, know that it was a bunch of normal kids and people that had passion for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then he'd leave and then come pick me up. I did this for a bunch of weekends growing up, and then I finally just stopped doing it. And my dad would actually drop me off and then pick me up later on. He didn't have to stay there anymore because he trusted me. Now, I went to my first local tournament for Call of Duty when I was, I think, 17 years old. I already had my driver's license, and I had my friend who was 19 years old with me, and we drove down to Sacramento, California, about 45 minutes from where I live currently right now. We went. It was only about $20 each, and then the gas money, and then bite to eat, probably about $10 more. So it was about $50, and it lasted all day, from I'd say 10 a.m. to literally like 11 p.m. at night. We left at probably about 9 p.m. though, and then drove back home, and that was it. It was a one-day tournament. We went. Sorry about that. We competed, met all the friends that we met online. I went with a friend. I was 17 years old. And then that was it. The tournament was over. The winners got whatever. I didn't win. I lost $50, but the experience was amazing. I turned 18, and then in 2014, I flew all the way down to MLG Anaheim. I was 18 years old. I'm my own adult, and I have the strictest mom in the entire world. And I know no one's met my mom from the gaming community because my mom doesn't really follow it, but growing up, I didn't go to parties. I've never smoked in my entire life. I'm 21 years old. I drank a few times, but obviously almost every single person does that. But my parents were so strict, they didn't let me go out late. I could stay the night with friends and stuff, but it'd have to be friends that they knew. They'd never let me go anywhere that without talking to the parent first, calling them or whatever. And let me get rid of this little PC thing really quick. Sorry about that. And this tournament, I said, I'm going to fly out. I'm 18 years old. I'm not living on my own yet. I was still living with my parents. I said, I'm going to fly out to this tournament. I've been practicing with my team. We bought a team pass, and I'm going to go stay there for 2 nights in a hotel. I've met them. I've seen them stream, blah, blah, blah. So I went, and I experienced it. It was still, to this day, the best experience of my whole entire... I'd say probably one of the top 5 best experiences of my whole entire life, and that's being honest. Now I'm gonna get to the pros and cons of why I should let my kids go to a LAN. The cons I have written down, and I am reading them from a book. The cons I have written down are team of random strangers. So the way I would put this, if your child is playing, let's say, game battles matches or playing Call of Duty live, just online with a bunch of friends, and he's been practicing with them for months and months and months, and they're practicing together, and they all put their money together to buy a team pass. Usually, it's going to be legit people. You can ask for pictures of the players that they're going to be teaming with. This is what I did. I knew what every single person I was teaming with looked like before I went to the tournament. So when I got there, I already knew who I would be hanging out with. You could see if they live stream and whatnot. See their age. You could even, honestly, if you need to, ask for a picture of the ID to send to your phone only. And obviously, a kid's going to understand, a 18-year-old, if they have an ID, is going to understand that for their kid to go to the LAN tournament, to send an ID, and then you're going to keep it private, obviously. The next one, flying alone. Now, flying alone, don't get me wrong, it was the first time I ever did it. It's not really that bad. I mean, it's a con because you're alone and you never know, like, you could get on the wrong plane or something, but it's kind of like self-explanatory to get on the right plane, get off of it, and then proceed once you get out of there. Once you get off the plane, that is probably the hardest part about traveling to an event, a far event, is how you're going to get to the LAN event if the LAN event isn't close to the plane. So either you could take a taxi, an Uber, ride with friends. That's very dangerous. I don't recommend that one, even though I did do that when I got there. We rode with our coach. And I mean, we did it. I mean, it was easy. I mean, it worked perfectly. We got to the event and then we played. The next one would be not familiar with the area. Obviously, let's say like the event is in Skid Row. I'm not going to let my kid go to an event in Skid Row. I'm just using that as a term. Everyone knows what Skid Row is. Now, let's say the LAN tournament is in a capital of a state. I mean, come on, it's probably a nice area. You could look around the area on Google, see reviews and stuff and whatnot. The money, it is pretty pricey to travel into an event that's far away, obviously, with airplane, gas, food, team ticket, jerseys for your team, controllers, headsets, all that. That gets a little pricey, but then again, it's all worth it in the end. Now, that was the only cons I have. And for the pros, first one, it's going to be one of the most memorable experiences of their whole life. And I can promise you that it was just the whole time you feel great and awesome. Competing is it's so nice. I used to compete in karate for 7 years, and for that whole 7 years that I did karate, practice every day, Monday through Friday. I only went to, I think, maybe 15 tournaments, and those 15 tournaments, I remember every little detail of them. That was my favorite part of all that 7 years. So, experience of their life. The next one is you can go with them and spectate. Like, you can fly there with them, you can stay in the hotel with them, you can drive them there, you can be with them every second. There's not a second at the event where they have to walk away from you. Unless, obviously, they need to go get money or something from, like, winning the event or something. But other than that, I mean, or go to the bathroom. There's no other time. You could stay with them the entire time just to try it out. There's a huge chance to win money. Now, I know, obviously, they're flying there to win the event. Not everyone's going to win. Obviously, maybe usually the top 8 teams or maybe the number 1 team, depending on what kind of event it is. I mean, you don't know. I mean, your kid, maybe they're the worst, maybe they're the best. Unless you follow their gaming, like, spot on, you probably don't know. And if you're watching this video, you most likely don't follow their gaming stuff. So, I mean, there is a chance that your son or your daughter could win the tournament. And there's big money on the line. And it might seem like it's small, but you just won't believe it until it happens. Meet friends. I played on Xbox and PlayStation with tons of friends for years and years and years. I hosted a gaming website where players got on it. I had a lot of people. I met a lot of contacts. I communicated with a lot of people. And I probably met over 50 people from online at the 2 events I went. And I mean, I would talk to them like, hey, I'm Adam. They're like, oh, you're Adam. I'm like, yeah, that's so awesome, because they already knew who I was. Another one, they had experienced the travel, a new scenery. Let's say you live in one state for a long time. I mean, you've lived in a state their whole life and you never traveled. This could be the one moment that your son or daughter gets to travel to a different state. Like I said, you could go with them. If you need to, just go with them. At least experience it with them one time to see that it's the real deal. Maybe if they don't win the first time, maybe you don't want them to go again. Unless maybe they finished top 16, top 32, you should let them stick with it. After top 32, unless they had a real big fluke, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend keep going with it unless obviously they have a passion for it and you approve of it. Other than that, it'd probably be a huge waste of money. And the last one on my list is fun. And I mean, it really is beyond. I'm just getting rid of the laptop. It is probably, I mean, it's just so much fun. Everybody there just is having a good time. Everyone's smiling, laughing. You're meeting new people. There's tons of security. There's tons of adults. Oh, it's gonna focus. Okay. Focus. There's tons of, I don't know why I won't focus. Sorry about that. There's tons of adults there. There's just, it's so maintenance right. I've never been to a UMG event, but I have been in an MLG event and then a Gaming for a Cause event. It's just a good time. It really is. And I mean, the message I'm trying to get to you is, I know gaming's new. I know it's traveling, but either go with them or just trust them. And another, I forgot to put on the side of it, other than my mom being the strictest person in the world, I have to have good grades and stuff to do anything. Make sure your kid has good grades. I mean, if they don't have good grades, I'm all with you. Don't let them go. I mean, that's, if they're not gonna like be a good kid, then obviously this, I mean, this should be a privilege. It should be like a surprise kind of thing, or I can't find the word. Like, they shouldn't just get a go. Obviously, I mean, they should be a good kid. If they're a bad kid, you shouldn't help them. Well, I'll say that straight up. I was a good kid growing up, so yeah. I mean, you really need to let them experience it. It's just getting so large. I mean, it's really, like I can't. I'm lost for words. It was just so much fun. I hope this message really did help you out. And if you want to ask me any question, I respond to all my comments every day. I probably take a good hour of my day to respond to them, or however much time I need to respond to them. Heck, I'll even Skype video call with your parent if you need be. I'm just here to help. I come from a family that was very strict, and I went to an event. I was very safe about it. I knew watched my surroundings. I took enough money. I had my cell phone on me at all times. I had my ID on me at all times. And I made sure I knew who I was going to be teaming with when I got there, who I was going to be playing with. I already knew them prior, like talking for months and months. So, yeah, I just say give it a shot if your kid's a good kid. Or just go with them. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you did, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And sorry for all the hand motions. I don't get too nervous, but it's just like when I get lost for words, I'm like trying to spit them out and they just won't come. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and hopefully it helps somebody out there that's never been to an event before, and maybe I'll see you at the event. Peace.